Good morning. It is Thursday, February 16th. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, the Strategic Enrollment, Communications, and Social Media Manager here at Houston Community College. Pleased to be joined by my co-host today, Mr. Parrish Murphy, who's going to kick things off by telling everyone how to find us.
My goodness, is it Thursday already?
It is definitely Thursday, halfway through the month Thursday.
Well, you can catch us. We are live on HCC Community College District Facebook page, and we're also on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and we're on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right. For those who are a returning viewer, for those new viewers who don't know, Thursday is Family Fun Day here on Up to the Minute. We'll be talking about working out for a cause. And joining us to talk about that a little bit later, but is going to say hi right now, Francesca Villa, who's a National Director of Fundraising Events at the Parkinson Foundation. Welcome to the show, Francesca.
Thank you. It's great to have me.
Yes, you and Parrish are going to have an awesome conversation a little bit later, but first we have joining us for us to congratulate them on the Chancellor's recent announcement of the HCC's DEI officer. Welcoming to the show, Dr. Darin Baskin, who's the Interim Officer of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the Office of the Chancellor. Welcome back to the show, Darin.
Well, thank you, Sade. And might I add that it is Black History Month and you are radiating right now. I can appreciate that.
You know, culturally, I think the red lip does it for us.
It would have to be. It would have to be. Yes, that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know, you are wearing two hats right now. So that's a Black History moment. You are Interim Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and still holding down the fort of our Quality Enhancement Plan Director. So we are happy to have you talk about what you have on your plate for this new role. And so you're a busy man. You're making time for us at a conference in Chicago.
In Chicago, yes. And let me say this. The first day we were here, it was beautiful, amazing. Second day, you know, it was getting there. Today, it's cold. Ooh. And it's not Texas cold, it's Chicago cold because it's also starting to snow.
Oh, so, shrivel all down in your bones.
Oh, like man, yes. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, and thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I am definitely holding on two roles: the DEI officer as well as the director for the Quality Enhancement Plan. However, I have to say that looking at the outcomes of both of those roles, they're succinctly. They succinctly work together. And so I'm excited to be still engaged with the Quality Enhancement Plan and looking forward to moving the college forward with our DEI efforts as well. So, awesome. And let me also say that you're going to hear me say DEIB, and sometimes you might even hear me say DEIBJ, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and social justice. So those are the terms that we're going to be using.
Interesting. Okay. And you know, that's the definition of equity is, I think, a lot of what you're working on, because the context of it, people have so many different definitions. And I see you working on that, and certainly with the focus of belonging.
Yes. You know, one of the big pieces that comes out of collecting data is you're able to navigate and pivot and make changes to current work that you're doing. And the national data shows that the work that DEI officers are doing is impactful, but what is pulling and pulling the work of diversity, equity, and inclusion is to build a sense of belonging. And building that sense of belonging is so that everybody, whether it is the student, the faculty, the staff, or the community stakeholders, feel a connection to Houston Community College. And that's where we are navigating towards, to build that environment to where everyone feels safe and everyone feels secure in where they are within the organization, and that everybody matters.
I mean, it's so important, and I think it gives us right that segue into our first official question. We've been having a great conversation, which is one of the first things that you were tackling for a sense of belonging is definitely cultural programming, and we are in Black History Month. And what does that mean for what you're planning for your office and for students?
You know, that's a great question. We've said Black History Month a few times already. But, you know, to me personally, Black History Month I always look forward to Black History Month because it's a month of celebration. It's also a powerful reminder of Black history in America. And it shows us the resiliency of Black individuals in a country where they were not welcomed. And so it shows how much of resiliency that the Black community had. It talks about Black culture and all of the accomplishments that Black Americans have done for the country. During February, you hear the Black stories. You hear and also the ongoing stories of what we're going to do in the future. And it encompasses our faults, our strengths, our progress, and definitely our aspirations. So for me, I'm going to bring all that into the Office of DEI. And yeah, we're talking about Black History Month, but that's just history in general. And so we're going to ensure that no one feels left behind. And we're going to celebrate everyone as much as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, that holistic view, making sure, you know, you're looking at it from a lens of what has been done, what we are doing, strategizing for what we need to be focusing on. And you know, I think the message to our students is there's still a lot of history to make. There's still an opportunity to make history, but a lot of that comes from us understanding. When I think about belonging, I think about having a sense of identity. So certainly cultural programming helps people connect to their identities. People have multiple identities, and helps others recognize and learn more about other people's identities. So certainly looking forward to all the cultural programming that you have coming out the office. And can you tell us a little bit about some future DEI initiatives you have lined up?
So yeah, we are, and it's fun. Let me also tell you guys that I had no idea that Sade was going to be interviewing me today. So this within itself is a cultural shock for me because we were literally just last week, me and Sade were putting together some ideas on how we can move some cultural programming forward that is more student friendly and student forward. And so we're bouncing around ideas. I don't want to throw them out yet because we're still bouncing them around, but just know that we have ideas for everyone. We're going to roll out an entire calendar of events that you can just involve yourself in, and to be more in tune with what the college is going to offer. I will say that you're going to get a save the date today or Monday, and it's going to be for the Student Success Summit. And that's going to be April 24th. And it's also, if you don't know, April is Diversity Month. And so we're going to be doing a diversity summit. And we're going to be doing a celebration. We're going to do a celebration of cultures. We're going to do a celebration of some awards that we've won. And so we're inviting the entire HCC community, faculty, staff, students, and stakeholders. And so we have some things in the works. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy what we're putting together.
And I too was surprised that you were the guest there. I found it out yesterday. I said, well, will you look at that?
Look at that.
And we can close things out. You talked about belonging and social justice. We talked about belonging, kind of zoomed past social justice. So I want to circle back to that.
Yes. And so
go ahead.
Do you have a specific question or?
Oh, yeah. So the question is what are you looking at in positioning others to understand what HCC's role in social justice is?
So that's a great question. I think what we have to realize is that society around us has changed. Our outlook for how we see our placements in our culture has also changed. And I think part of that is understanding that a lot of our students are coming to us socially adjusted to the culture that they're in. And so they're more engaged in politics than ever before. They're more engaged in the environmental change of social justice. And so we're going to be more included in that movement, in those ideas, because it's a part of what the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office is going to be.
Awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And if we're thinking about being a student-ready college, we have to be ready for the types of students that we are receiving. Our programming needs to align, our curriculums need to align. And it's just great to hear that, we have someone leading the charge around that, and being a voice when those decisions are being made, that we keep that at the forefront as an institution.
Yes. And that is my plan. So I appreciate that.
And we could talk forever, but we've reached our time.
Oh, well, look at that. Well, hey, Sade, I have enjoyed it. I am an avid proponent of Up to the Minute. The great work that is put out using this platform is amazing. And please understand that we appreciate everything that you do for the students as well. Your voice is extremely important for us in the room at all times. So thank you for the work that you do. And thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, Darin. For those who may have just caught the tail end of it, you have been listening to Dr. Darin Baskin, who is the Interim Officer for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the Office of the Chancellor here at HCC. We'll have information posted after the show that you can check out what he is working on. Thank you so much for joining us, Darin.
Bye, y'all. It was a pleasure.
Bye. All right, we're going to kick it over to Parrish and Francesca.
I'm going to tell you something. Little word of advice. If you ever go to Chicago in the winter, buy you a coat in Chicago. Don't bring no Houston coat to Chicago thinking it's going to do something, okay? I don't know what Darin was thinking, but that Houston coat is just not ready. It's not ready.
It doesn't hit the sun.
It's not ready. Great. Parkinson's disease is a disorder of the central nervous system that affects movement, and it often includes tremors. As a frame of reference, just so you can put a face on this, I want to mention some celebrities that were actually diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Muhammad Ali, the great Muhammad Ali, Neil Diamond, Billy Graham, President George H.W. Bush, Michael J. Fox, Jesse Jackson, Ozzy Osbourne, Pope John Paul II, Robin Williams, and more recently, Linda Ronstadt, just to name a few. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Francesca Villa. She is National Director of Fundraising Events for the Parkinson's Foundation, and she is our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. Francesca, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing so well. I love Thursday Fun Day guest. What a awesome title to have.
Yeah, we try to do our best on the big show. We try to do our best. Now, we're looking forward to hearing more about your upcoming event and things of that nature. But first, can you give us a little background on the Parkinson's Foundation?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Parkinson's Foundation is a national organization. Our mission is to make lives better for people living with Parkinson's. Right now in the US, there are about 1 million people who are living with the disease, and every year 90,000 people are diagnosed. In fact, we recently put out a prevalence study update. We used to think it was 60,000 people a year. Every 9 minutes, someone was diagnosed, but recent studies have shown us that the numbers are going up. So every 6 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's. Along with the celebrities you listed, we have folks every single day living their lives with this disease. And it's a lifetime disease. There is no cure currently for PD, but people can learn to live better with it if they're ending up living with it for 10 to 30 years of their life.
Wow. So is it something that's hereditary, or is this something that you can catch? What is the background of people that are contracting Parkinson's?
Yeah, that's a good question. So about 10% of Parkinson's cases are genetic. One of the big pillars of research that the foundation invests in is figuring out what causes Parkinson's so we can figure out how to cure it. We think there could be environmental interactions. A lot of our research is focused on the genetics in your brain that are linked to Parkinson's, but we can't tell you exactly what causes it. We can tell you what makes it better, right? There's medications on the market that can help you live better with Parkinson's. And then our Parkinson's Outcome Project is actually a study that the Parkinson's Foundation invested in that found that exercise, approximately 2.5 hours a week, make lives better for people with PD. It can improve your quality of life. So that's a pretty easy one, right? Get a workout in and feel better living with PD.
Great. Now, I know you kind of told us the national average of people. Can we kind of regionalize this? And do you have any idea how many people in Parkinson's are in Texas?
Yeah, the number is about 52,000 people living in Texas with Parkinson's. That we're obviously averaging those, but we do a lot of local support. I will obviously share our website, but our global care network is based around the world. One of our big focuses is making sure that you get the quality care you need, when you need it, how you need it. And Baylor University is one of our centers of excellence. So folks in the Houston area can go to Baylor and receive quality care for Parkinson's, specifically from movement disorder specialists. Those are doctors, neurologists who are focused on Parkinson's and other movement disorders, so they can give you the best medical help that you need.
Great. Now, I know earlier in the interview you said that there is no cure, but I'm just curious, does it affect men or women more?
Yeah. So the science works out to it predominantly affects men more than women, but we help men and women living with PD. An interesting thing I think about Parkinson's is that often men are more likely to have caregivers and care partners who help them, but women diagnosed with Parkinson's, I'm a woman, so this affects me, aren't as available. They don't have as much access to care, or they don't have a care partner who can help them with the disease. And so we have a whole entire part of our organization that works for women in PD to make sure that if you're a woman diagnosed with Parkinson's, you have the support you need if you don't have a care partner who can step in.
Now, why is that men have more access to help than women? I would think that because I would think that because women are more nurturing and they're nurturers by nature, that they would have more.
I think also it can be a really difficult disease. And sometimes, I'm speaking for myself now, but sometimes I think women step up for their partner and maybe men step out, but that's not the Parkinson's Foundation's line. That's just what, I think that there's something to be said for caring for someone for a long period of time, that perhaps women are more geared toward doing a good job or supporting their partner. But that's something that we're working to bridge that gap because we know it exists. And I won't speculate on why it exists. I just have my own opinions.
I understand. Now, tell us about your event. I want to talk about your event that you guys have.
Yeah. So on a fun, as I said before, exercise is one of the best ways to live well with Parkinson's, and aerobic exercise specifically, 2.5 hours a week. So we created Parkinson's Revolution, which is an indoor cycling event. It's a party on a bike that brings the power of grassroots fundraising to community building. So not only is it a fun fitness class that people can participate in, it's also a fundraiser that raises the funds we need to provide for our global centers of excellence, to do research, to fund local community grants. And we have one in Houston this year for the very first time. It's happening next weekend on the 25th of February at the Cycle Bar Sawyer Heights. The ride starts at 12:15, but the event will open at 11:30. There'll be Parkinson's information. There'll be local volunteers there. You can grab some glow sticks, a t-shirt, and it's just a really awesome way to celebrate the power of movement for people with Parkinson's, while also giving us the necessary funds we need to find a cure.
That is awesome. So now, one more time, when is this event happening?
Yeah, so Saturday, February 25th at 11:30 a.m. It's at Cycle Bar, Sawyer Heights. And the website is pdrevolutionhouston.org. So if folks are excited or want to ride, they can register. We also have a huge virtual ride. So if people have a Peloton in their own house, or if you want to ride a bike outside and it's warm enough, you can also join us as a virtual rider. And that registration is exactly the same.
That is absolutely awesome. So in having Parkinson's, you say that exercise is one of the things that help people just kind of deal with it and allow them a better quality of life. Is there anything, is there a test or anything that you can take to see if you're diagnosed, to be more preemptive about Parkinson's disease?
So if you do have a genetic disposition, meaning if you have a history of Parkinson's in your family, we have a few options. First, our PD generation is our genetic testing part of the Parkinson's Foundation. Right now, it's open to people living with Parkinson's. So we have identified about 10 specific genes that are linked to Parkinson's. So when you get your PD generation testing and test results, they can kind of titrate better what genetic makeup you have for Parkinson's, and then maybe what medications or what therapies will work better. So PD generation is open currently to people living with PD, but we hope to expand in the future to their families. We don't recommend other genetic testing if you just want to find out if maybe you have the Parkinson's gene. I think sometimes without expert help, it can be hard to interpret those results. But frankly, exercising and living healthy is a great way to move forward in the world without a Parkinson's diagnosis.
Okay, great. Well, listen, thank you so much, Francesca, for all the information and everything. Good luck on the event. Please come back. It was a pleasure meeting you. And by all means, let us know. Thank you for the information. I had no idea when I did my research on this. I just remembered a couple of celebrities, but I just kind of wanted to put a face on it and just make people aware. This is a real thing, and and it's here. It's definitely here. Thank you so much for being on the show. She is Francesca Villa. She is National Director of Fundraising Events for the Parkinson's Foundation and our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. We'll have her information in our post after the show. Thank you again, Francesca.
All righty then. Well, I think our first announcement is on par with the call for more physical activity. We have co-ed soccer free play hosted by our recreational sports department. They are offering free fun pickup games for men and women every Tuesday and Thursday. And you can check out the post after the show for times and details.
All right. Black History Celebration Through the Arts. It's a collaboration between HCC's music department and Student Life. This event also includes the Houston Youth Jazz Orchestra, who, by the way, are really, really good. And all of this is celebrating the impact of jazz on American culture. It happens 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, February the 21st at HCC Southwest West Loop. And it is my favorite price. It's absolutely free, Free. You can check out our post in the show for more information about this event.
All right. Well, up next, we are highlighting our veteran leadership program. To learn more about achieving growth potential, veterans will receive a free, that's Parrish's favorite word, free premium executive package for veterans, course materials, and a personal action plan, a great resource for our veteran and veteran military affiliated community. It'll be from 5 to 9 p.m. Tuesday, February 21st at the HCC Missouri City campus. You can check our post after the show for details.
All right, Vocable, a journal of art and writing. This is pretty good. HCC's Creative Writing Club is looking for the best fiction, creative nonfiction, poetry, artwork, scripts, and even comic books. That's amazing. Now, the students have to, students have to offer with Vocable, a journal of art and writing. Submissions open. The submissions are open until March the 23rd. To learn more, we'll have the link in our post after the show.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. I'm gonna have to check out what may be in it for students to see if I can push that to them. But it sounds like a great opportunity to celebrate their gifts. Well, my first full-time job here was in financial aid. So this always has a special place in my heart. February is Financial Aid Awareness Month. You can reach out to financial aid on the Zoom lobby every month of the year, but February is a time to celebrate HCC Financial Aid and their mission to make college more accessible through funding and financial support. Visit the post after our show for links and details about how to connect with them this month.
Great. Spring Second Start classes are now open. Registration is open for smaller, more intensive spring sessions, and the Second Start has begun. All spring courses offer in-person and online options. It's the usual suspects: online anytime, online on the schedule, hybrid, in-person, as well as hybrid lab. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply. That is hccs.edu/apply. Coming up, Ms. Campbell.
Hey, listen, introduce it like that all the time.
Coming up.
All right, for Film Friday tomorrow, we will have the Black Film Festival, and they will be returning to talk about their upcoming events this Black History Month.
Looking forward to that.
I am too. I'm interested to see what type of event they have. I didn't realize we had a film festival going on, but I like checking out independent films. So, and we'll also have Catherine Fields, who's the chair of the Visual Arts Division. She'll be talking about her ongoing exhibition of works from her summer 2022 sabbatical in Greece. So that sounds interesting as well. Make sure you check out those. Don't just listen to us. Make sure you go after this show, get those links to the resources and to connect with our guests. We thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute, and we will see you next time.